Greetings, cadets. Today we will be going over how to be a radio telephone operator, or an RTO. Quick, we'll be going over what an RTO is, what this briefing will not cover, radio checks, leaving the forward operating base, and checking in. First, what is an RTO? That is a job you will almost certainly have never heard of in Air Force ROTC. Quite simply, the RTO is the ears and mouth of the commander on the radio. There is a lot of information being passed around on the radio, and the commander does not need to pay attention to most of it. The RTO hears what's being said on the radio, gives the important stuff to the commander, answers basic questions, and passes directions from the commander on to other people. This requires staying close to the commander and carrying the radio for them. When it comes to radios, something you probably will hear about are the 9-line medevac reports and the 9-line unexploded ordnance reports. I will not go over these in this briefing because there are plenty of videos teaching that online already, made by people who have called them in real combat conditions. Both of these are in the field training manual, so I'd suggest that you spend some time getting acquainted with them. The first thing you do when you get your radios is you turn them on and make sure they all work by speaking into them. A busted radio at base is no problem. A busted radio while on patrol under fire is a big problem. Before you leave your stepping off point, which will always be called a forward operating base, or FOB, report how many people are going out of the gate in the patrol group, where you are going, and what route you will be taking. This allows the base to keep accountability of everyone outside. An example of this phrase would be Charlie Flight leaving the base with 23 people heading east on Long Straight Road. Once you've left the base, do not just stay silent unless something goes wrong. Check in frequently with the base with important information. This includes what route you're on, even if it hasn't changed, which direction you're traveling, again, even if it hasn't changed, the distance traveled, and anything important, such as breaks or rests, or coming under fire. If you pass major landmarks, report it. If there's a possible threat, report it. When first starting as an RTO, try to annoy the base radio people with how much information you give them. Over time, you'll learn what is really important and cut down to that. I gave updates every 100 meters or as events happen. So if something does happen and my base needs to send help, they know where my unit is within 100 meters. Also, do not just wait for directions from the flight commander on when to send these reports. That is not their problem. It is your job. You should be sending these reports in as frequently as necessary, so that way the commander can stay focused on the tasks at hand. In summary, we have gone over what an RTO is, what this briefing did not cover, radio checks, leaving the forward operating base, and checking in along the route. Here are the references for the pictures used in the PowerPoint. Remember, this is not a comprehensive review of all things the radio telephone operator should perform, only a starting point. If you have any other suggestions or ideas, please leave them in the comments section below. And as always, the views expressed in this video do not necessarily reflect the official stance of the U.S. government, the U.S. Air Force, or Air Force ROTC. Aim high, cadets!